Yep, and next time, Trey, we gotta book your travel because Trey was supposed to go to the Super Bowl and he accidentally went to Charlotte instead.
That's
So-
not
What city, bro?
He went to the wrong city, and now he's sitting in a hotel room for the last 3 days. He
I
can't
thought it
leave
was in
until
Charlotte.
Monday.
That's what they told.
That's the
Taylor. Congratulations, Taylor Swift, on your engagement.
An engagement. Congratulations.
Yeah, buddy, we back. Super Bowl week is here, baby. Let's get it. Dun, 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 dun. Da-na-na-na-na. Yes, everyone, we're back again. This is Cinco Squad. My name is Jonathan Sawyer. With me are my brothers, Grandpa J, TreyDay, and Mike A. Fellas, Super Bowl week is here. Woo! I'm excited. This is probably one of our favorite times of the year mostly because of the game, but all the hoopla on Radio Row is so awesome. Just to see all the stuff that's going on. And yes, I did say hoopla, so
Hoopla!
Hoopla!
I think it's a sad time. I think that's one of the sad times of the year because you remember that I don't have any football until
No, we're not going to think about that right now.
Yeah, it's actually kind of...
God damn it, Trey. Why you got to bring that up?
God, Trey.
Restart it. No.
Trey. Whole season, restart. Trey, come on. The cardinal rule of this, we don't talk about that until Monday morning.
Oh, shit. My bad.
When it's
absolutely
over.
It is Super Bowl week, and we are so excited. The Chiefs and Niners. And I think, the NFL script got it right, guys. Two best teams in the league.
Yeah.
And Pat Mahomes versus, Brock Purdy, Mr. Game Manager. It's going to be an exciting game. I'm looking forward to it. As someone that just watches the game and cares about the game, I'm excited for it, but I know everyone else is excited for the commercials. But, fellas, let's get it on with Mike's mind. Mike, what is on your mind today?
Okay, so I had a few things come across my desk when it comes to Mike's mind, but there was one that I cannot believe that I actually discovered today. So, we're going to take a little trip down Super Bowl quarterback lane here. A few facts mixed into this one. Cal, the University of California, Berkeley. Bill Walton loves Berkeley. Has produced the most quarterbacks to play in a Super Bowl with 5. But Aaron Rodgers is the only Cal quarterback to have actually won.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Alabama and Purdue have each produced 3, so 3 apiece, to play in a Super Bowl. And all 3 for both schools have won. Also, Tom Brady is the only Michigan quarterback to ever play in the Super Bowl, and yet has more Super Bowl titles than any school's quarterbacks combined for each school.
That makes sense.
So all that is on my mind. That's all wrapped up into one big fact.
One smorgasbord. So Brady some love on Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah,
because the guy looks like he needed more love.
In fact, I gave you so much. Let me give you a Jay's Locks of the Week recap. Cal has the most quarterbacks to ever play in the Super Bowl, but only has one winner, Aaron Rodgers. Alabama and Purdue have each produced 3 quarterbacks to play in a Super Bowl, and all of them have actually won at least one time. And Tom Brady, the only Michigan quarterback to have played in the Super Bowl, has more Super Bowl titles than any school's combined quarterbacks to appear in the game.
You had so many facts. Jamie had to pull out the whiteboard and write it down.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm taking notes right here. What's on Mike's mind?
Exactly.
Cal running the fade, and then the seam.
Yeah. There will be a pop quiz at the end of the episode on what I just gave you.
When you first needs no points anymore.
When you first started talking, you lost me at Cal. I was like, Cal, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, exactly. Follow the bouncing ball across the map of the USA.
Shout out to Nick Saban for taking the College Game Day position and coming on to College Game Day this year. That's a huge boost for that program. They're starting to lose Lee Corso as he's starting to, go into retirement as he should. He's done his service on College Game Day. So shout out to Lee Corso. But it's going to be so great to see Nick Saban on College game day with McAfee, Desmond Howard, Reese Davis, Kirk Herbstreit. I think there's a lot of knowledge right there, and I think it's going to be fun to see his kind of goofier side of himself instead of the serious coach every time on the sideline when they're trying to get an interview or when you're trying to post-game or pre-game get an interview. This will be a fun time to see Coach Saban as who he is at the end of the day, a football coach. And I'm not too surprised by this because, yes, he retired, but you got to remember, this man has been in football his entire life. So shout out to Nick Saban. I think this is a huge move for ESPN for keeping them, and definitely keep McAfee on there because those two going together is really a fun pair, and can't wait for college football next season. Oh, and of course, go blue.
But you know what I want to hear most of all for the Super Bowl weekend, because I got to imagine it's going to be involved. It's Jay's Locks of the Week. Jay, take it.
That's right. You know it's Super Bowl special edition. But I do have one lock that's not Super Bowl that is guaranteed. But before we get there, how about a perfect week last week? Called the Man City win by 2 goals. They won 3-1. Yeah, I should have listened there. Told you that was the absolute lock of the week. And the upset, Texas going to TCU and winning on the road. And so that started off the weekend great. We're above 500 again, and we are going to continue on that track. So before we go Super Bowl heavy for this week's absolute locks, they got 2 things that will happen across the pond. And I know that nobody cares about across the pond crap other than me on Super Bowl weekend. So here's what I'm going to tell you guys to do.
Pretty much.
Manchester City is on an absolute tear. They've demolished the record for goals over a 10-game span with 45 goals. That will not stop this weekend. Man City and Liverpool play on the same day. This is how you can make some money so you could bet on these Super Bowl props going into the weekend. So you'd be like, all right, I'm up. I'm going to keep that money and multiply. So here's what we're going to do. You got to do, you have to follow the trends, okay? Man City will score more than 2.5 goals. And that's coming in at some really nice odds, okay? That's at minus 120. That means you win about 83 cents on every dollar that you bet. Liverpool playing Burnley is due for a huge scoring output, and I feel it coming because I know when my team is going to do something special. That comes in at a plus 115. Here's what's more fun. If you go ahead and parlay that, you're winning $4 to every $1 that you bet. That is a rock solid way to get your weekend started. If you have 50 bucks to put down on it, you got 2 bills in your hand. And here's what you do with those 2 bills. You guys are going to think I'm crazy. But there's 3 wonderful things there, right? First thing is plus 400 for CMC to be the MVP of the Super Bowl. Yes, I'm going to say it now. The 49ers are my pick. That's why I'm thinking that's a lock. Plus 400 is you win $5 for every $4 for every dollar that you bet. Okay. So once again, drop that 50, win 200. Here's the one that I was like, this is a damn giveaway. Kelce or McCaffrey to score the first touchdown of the game. Ooh. What have the Chiefs done for 5 playoff games in a row? They've scored a touchdown on their first drive. Kelce has scored 4 of those. You know where the damn ball is going. So does the whole stadium. And San Fran won't be able to stop it. That's plus 180 on either Kelce or McCaffrey. Okay, that's either one to score the first touchdown in the game. You're winning about $1.80 every dollar you bet. So that's about, you pay out of about $1.40 on a $50 bet. Here's the juiciest one though. Guys, go with me here. If you had $10, which we all do to put aside, plus $3,000 on a non-quarterback to record a passing touchdown. And the way that Christian McCaffrey wins the MVP is to throw a touchdown to possibly a lineman, and the big man get to celebrate in this year's Super Bowl. And that's what I'm talking about. Give me that dance, Big John. That's what I'm talking about, baby. So, win some money on Saturday. Man City, they'll score over 2.5. Liverpool to win the game by more than 2.5. Parlay that together. You're getting paid out some money. Then here's what you're going to do for Super Bowl weekend. Have some fun. If you're not down with the CMC MVP, here's your absolute 2 locks. McCaffrey or Travis to score that first touchdown, that's a friggin' lock. Take it. And if you want to have a lot of fun and win $300 to make up for in case you lose because you made too many dumb bets, put $10 on a non-QB throwing a touchdown in the Super Bowl. And that, ladies and gentlemen, are your Super Bowl locks and some across the pond shit on Saturday to make you some money first of the week.
Does anybody actually want the Oakland A's? So the mayor of Vegas, Carolyn Goodman, came out recently and said that the A's should find a way to stay in Oakland. Now, this is all innocent, and it would be a nice gesture towards, keeping the A's in Oakland if it weren't her city that's getting them. So apparently, Oakland's mayor doesn't want to negotiate or do any renovations to the Coliseum to keep the A's. Now, apparently, Vegas's owner thinks that the A's should stay in Oakland. So again, I ask my question. Does anyone actually want the Oakland A's? I mean, I feel bad for them at this point because as players on the team, members of the organization, it's like, we have no home. We legitimately have no home. So, someone take the A's, please. Have pity on them, people, please.
Let's get it, fellas. It's Super Bowl week, but before we get into our Super Bowl topics,
yes,
Cinco Squad has a little surprise for everyone as we will be going live on Super Bowl Sunday from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m.
Woo!
We're going to be live. It's going to be a guest-heavy episode. So we have 10 guests lined up, 10 to 15 minutes per person, just rolling through, asking about their day. And make sure you guys tune in, comment, and if you guys want to join the show, I mean, shit, we'll throw the link to you. So make sure you tune in 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. We're going live. We haven't done a live show in probably almost 9 months. So looking forward to going live on Super Bowl Sunday.
Sunday.
But let's get into it. We got Super Bowl week, which means there's a ton of topics.
Yeah.
Las Vegas is going nuts right now. You're not sleeping if you're in Vegas right now. We wish we were there. Mm-hmm. NFL, make it happen. NFL, make it happen. So I got a question for you guys. So when we get the opportunity to go to Radio Row,
yes,
who do you want to be our first guest ever on the inaugural Radio Row show going in there? So many. You can choose from anyone.
Man, that is a tough question.
Yeah, that's
who you got? You already got something in mind. You started.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to just take it to, if I can, I'm going to take it to one of the Kelces. One of the Kelce brothers. I know they'll be there because they'll have their podcast. They'll have their show. One of the Kelce brothers, if not both, on there because I feel like they'd be fun. They would get along with us cool. And we'd probably crack back a couple beers probably right there in Radio Row. So I feel like they would be a fun time to just talk football. And at the time we were there, potentially Jason's retired. So it's a little bit more of a loose. He doesn't have to be so secretive about the NFL. You know how NFL players are more open. So I'm saying the Kelce brothers, if not one of them. Mike?
It's a good choice.
Grandpa Jay.
Yeah, Jay, go ahead. I'm still kind of thinking.
Yeah, so I think we start Marshawn Lynch's presidential campaign on Cinco Squad, on Radio Row. Finally get him to talk at the Super Bowl and have him just talk some mad shit because you know whatever comes out of his mouth is going to be pure entertainment. He's probably going to go off topic with every question we ask, and I love every damn second of it.
I still remember him with Peyton Manning, and he was like, Peyton's like, I used to take a shot before every game. He's like, of what? Andy, what you think? Oh, I just didn't know if you like maybe a shot of Gatorade or something.
That's the most vanilla. That's the most vanilla and colorful combo of all time.
Bro, I was dying when I heard that. I was like, "Yep, that makes sense." All right, Mike, who is yours?
Yeah, so the conventional answer you would think is I would pick Eli because he's my guy. But I know he's going to be a little busy on Radio Row, but I think we would be able to get him slotted in at some point. I would really want to talk to Pat McAfee. He's a fun guy. He's a good time. And as someone also that's a well documented on here, wrestling fan, he works with WWE as well as a commentator. He's really fun on there too, brings a lot of energy. So I think that would just be a really fun conversation of both on football and just in general, because he's just a high energy, fun loving guy who isn't afraid to say some wild shit, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'd pick Mac.
Eli would actually be funny though. I mean,
believe me, I would also want Eli. But yeah, Eli's is actually outside of football, not like as boring as it seems like he is.
Trey, what you got?
Uncle Shannon. Yep.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I just
Good
Shannon
pick.
would be. Yeah, Shannon would be fun just because we know he's knowledgeable about the game, so we're gonna have a good discussion there. But he's also gonna sit there, he's gonna pour up a drink, we're gonna have a good time, gonna get some laughs in, and I just feel like it's gonna be relaxed. Like that dude has a real knack, as we've seen from Cat Williams. Now he just had an interview with Monique where she's going off on everybody. He just has a knack of getting people to just talk and just put it all out there and get the most out. For a guy who's not been a professional interviewer his whole life, he's an amazing interviewer for a guy who's not been doing it that long. So
the crazy part about that interview with Cat Williams, he even said that I didn't even ask anything. He just he just went off. So he's like, I'm not going to stop him.
Be kicking.
They sure were sipping. Mike?
My topic next. So,
oh God. Oh God.
No, I just have. What do I do? No, so we'll take it from Radio Row to on the field. Who to you guys is going to be the most underrated difference maker in this game?
Ooh.
Should I say
MVS? I'm going MVS.
Underrated?
Yeah,
I'm going MVS because
like a difference maker we don't expect.
Yeah, I'm going to go MVS just because all year the guy just kept dropping those key passes. In the playoffs, he somehow keeps making big plays. I feel like he'll be the one that's going to get behind somebody and maybe get the random 60-yard pass. If it's some trick play where Kelce comes around and has to throw the ball, I feel like he's going to be the guy that gets behind the safety and then you're like, oh, he's wide open. But this time I think he's actually going to catch it when it actually matters the most.
Jamie, what'd you say?
I said Pacheco because I think people forget prior to the ankle injury how much he was actually carrying the offense. And every talk now is Patrick Mahomes is the villain. Patrick Mahomes has to win this game. Quite the opposite. I think the game plan that Andy Reid is going to draw up is to not force him to win it. And Pacheco is going to come out like an absolute animal. I think people have assumed that he's kind of maybe not handled or lived up to what they had hoped for in the playoffs, but they forget that the guy was playing on a 75% ankle, maybe that. I mean, I think they played off how bad it was. I think he's going to come out and just bulldoze people and really just announce himself as one of the better young running backs in the NFL early in the game.
Yeah, I mean, Pacheco is definitely a guy that's going to be an X factor. I'm going to say I'm going to butcher this. Kyle Juszczyk. I think I said it right. Juszczyk.
And the crowd, when they hand the ball, the crowd goes, ooh.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. But I'm going to say he's going to be an X factor because he's one of the guys on the offense that isn't heavily guarded, right? He's in there for his blocking, but he's a secretly good athlete, as we saw against the Lions. He can make some good catches, and it's pretty quick. So I'm going to say Kyle. I think he's going to have a touchdown and maybe 80 yards. I'm going to say that.
Nice.
Total, rushing and receiving. So.
Receiving, yeah. And and probably some key blocks, honestly,
what you got?
For CMC. So I'm going to my initial thought was to take it to something we've talked about for the last few weeks. Just that underrated, the fact that people don't give the Chiefs enough credit on defense. So I'm going to go with L'Jarius Sneed. I think he's going to be all over the field, making key tackles, deflecting key passes. And I people are starting to understand. There's starting to be talk about how good of a corner he is, him and McDuffie. But I think there's still that underrated factor to them where people don't give them enough credit for the important defensive plays they make. So I'm looking at L'Jarius Sneed to make, like Pacheco announcing that he's one of the best running backs in the league, Sneed announcing on the grandest stage of all that he is one of the best corners.
Yeah, if he didn't do it last week, I guess.
Started off playoffs long.
Or 2 weeks ago when he punched the ball out. So
yeah,
I mean that probably is the reason why they're playing in this game because momentum would have swung to the Ravens big time.
Yeah, shout out.
But there's still all that talk of oh, it's Mahomes, oh, it's Kelce, oh, it's what I mean. So
it's Mahomes. TreyDay, what you got for us?
All right, keep it on the field. Fourth downs are important. That could be a key point here. Will we have over or under 3.5 fourth down attempts total in the game. Jay,
3.5.
you're a gambling guy.
One more time. Will we have over?
Do we have over or under 3.5 fourth down attempts total in the game?
Ooh,
Two teams would like to go for it too.
that is very interesting.
Overall.
I want to hear Jay first. He's the gambling guy. I need to get my gambling my locks here.
So the reason why I'll go with over is on the last drive, whoever's down, because I think it's going to be a close game, is going to have to convert at least 2 fourth downs.
Uh-huh.
Well, at least 2. I think they're going to get a situation where they have to convert a fourth down early in the drive, and then it may happen again because both defenses aren't probably going to give up a big play at that point. So I think we'll see 2 late in the game. So I'm going to go with the over because I definitely see it happening early in the game. So yeah, I think we may have a chance to see 4 fourth down attempts, right? Not conversions, but attempts.
Yeah, just attempts. So yeah,
Yep, I'll take
not
the over
the
on
result
that.
is independent.
I mean, if the Lions were in here, you would have put that at about 7.5.
Yeah, I would have to bring that to like 20.
12.5.
Yeah, if Dan Campbell's calling this at 20.
The punter would have been released after the NFC Championship game. So you said over 4.5 in the game?
Over under 3.5.
3.5.
3.5. Well, that's tough. I mean, I'm looking at the Chiefs and their fourth down conversions this year just alone. I mean, they're not aggressive. Like the Chiefs are not an aggressive team. They will punt the ball away and rely on their defense. That's why I was so happy to see. That's why I was so confident when they kicked it off to Baltimore that they're confident in their defense. So I don't think Andy Reid's never been an aggressive coach like that on fourth down. He will when he needs to. So I'm gonna say under. I think each team is gonna play it safe with each other because I don't see themselves giving the other team a good field position like Detroit did for San Francisco at home. So I think it's gonna be under.
See, the trick of this is both of their aggressiveness. I agree with that, but the trick of it really is them getting to fourth down a lot, which will be interesting to see whether that happens or not. Now, I'm gonna take the over because you got 2 offensive-minded coaches. I think with today's NFL, teams in general are becoming more aggressive. Thank you, Man Campbell, for leading the charge when it comes to that. But I don't think it's going to be a lot. It might be like 4 or 5, but I'll take over 3.5.
Trey, what you got?
I'm gonna go with the over because the Chiefs aren't as aggressive as they usually are, but I do see at some point where Reid maybe just takes that chance and says, you know what, I got to put the ball in Mahomes' hands. So that's like one attempt there. I do agree with Jay where I think there's a late attempt in the fourth quarter. But what I also do think is I think Shanahan's going to go for multiple times. See, one thing the Chiefs have done is even though the Chiefs don't put the same offensive numbers that they usually do, teams still fear them. So you see teams go for it versus the Chiefs more than they normally would do. And I keep factoring in the back of my head, Kyle Shanahan, we once seen this man in the Super Bowl as an offensive coordinator. What happened? He was up 28-3, and then he got conservative. So I think that alone is going, those demons at a point are going to be like, I can't. If they do get up, I got to keep going for it. If they get down, I got to go for it. I think those demons are going to get extra. So I think the 49ers
can't happen
are going
again.
to attempt. Yes,
Don't you think that's a
little
little opposite though too as well? Like that he was up 28-3. That maybe being a little bit too aggressive against the best quarterback in the world right now. Don't you think that's kind of work against him?
It could, but I just think he's going to get tight, and then he's
makes sense.
I think Mike said it, being an offensive-minded coach. If you get tight, where do you lean? What's going to naturally do? Am I going to trust my defense or my offense? You're going to go with the side of the ball that you more relate to, more than likely.
And their defense really hasn't been playing that good.
That's it.
They really haven't. Sacks have been low.
Yeah,
they haven't been attacking the quarterback. So. Jay, did you go? You said under,
no.
right?
Jay
started off.
Jay started for.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. So, clash of the tight ends. Not Titans, but clash of the tight ends. If you guys had $1 million to bet, which tight end will have a reception over 39.5 yards in the Super Bowl? Kelce or Kittle? You have to put $1 million on one to have a catch for over 39.5 yards in the Super Bowl. Who are you putting it up?
Kittle, but he always tries. Sometimes I would say Kelce, but Kelsey's more of a dump off type of tight end. Where Kittle, with having so many threats on the outside, every single game that I've watched Kittle play or the Niners play, he's somehow open for like a 20 to 40 yard pass. So I would put my money on Kittle just because they have so many weapons, and he somehow always sneaks through the defense and is open and then takes it for 40 yards. So I would definitely say Kittle on that.
I'm gonna say Kelce because of the exact opposite. Because he doesn't have as many weapons, he is the security blanket. And when it comes to where does Mahomes go 9 out of 10 times when he's scrambling around and needs to make a big play? It's Travis Kelce. So I think it's going to be one of those situations yet again, like every Chiefs game, where Mahomes is going to be moving around looking for somebody, and Kelce slowly is wading his way backwards and finds just enough space that Mahomes throws a dart to him for big yards. So I think I would put it more on the side of Kelce.
I'm leaning Kittle. I think Kelce will have more yards than Kittle in the game. I think he'll have more receptions than Kittle in the game. But similar to what John said, it always seems every game that there's somehow like a broken coverage in Kittle. And I feel like it's always up the left sideline, where you just see Kittle running up the left sideline. And he gets like a 40. But I can see a scenario where Kittle messes around, has that 40-yard, play that Jamie's talking about. Then he gets maybe one other catch, and then we just don't hear from him. Kelce is going to get 10 here, 15 here, 7 here. So the big play comes from Kittle. The more plays will come from Kelce.
Sadly, if this was a scenario, I think I would lose $1 million because I don't think it's going to happen. I would love to see it happen. It would be Kittle over Kelce. Where it could get fun is if we do see a mad scramble by Mahomes, we know where the ball is going if that happens. So it'd be fun to see it happen in that manner, especially Kelce's antics of like some spectacular catch falling down to the ground, whatever. If Kittle gets his, you know how he gets his. He breaks a tackle, he spins off of it, and then he's cutting across the field for another 40 yards or whatever it is. So it'll be fun to see both tight ends really go at it. And what I'd love to see is the camera pan on them more than 2 or 3 times in this game, just talking mad shit to the other defense after they make big plays.
Those two are hilarious when they get together.
So energetic.
They have so much energy in one scenario. It's like, holy shit. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think, and the other thing is like when there's a broken play, Kelce knows how to get into open spaces, and he comes back to the ball. Yep. So most of the time when he is downfield, he comes back. And like that one play where Mahomes got trucked, Kelce had to come back from like the goal line to get that pass. So I could definitely see it. All right, so I was really honed in on a few different ones. I got three on here right now. Like Trey said, I would have probably 5 or 6.
Exactly.
I do. But I really want to hear what you guys would do. Okay. You have to give a speech prior to the game to either team. Whew. You can pick the team. What are you saying? This may be a little bit longer of a segment, but what are you saying? And we got our speech boy up there in the right-hand corner, or my right-hand corner. So, but I want to hear what you guys would say to the team prior to the game.
Let me pick the Chiefs here. I'm going to pick the Chiefs, and if I'm basically going in there, I'm going in there and basically saying, look, I know we won the Super Bowl last year. We know that. They know that. But everybody out here keeps acting like we ain't the defending champs. Everybody out here is acting like people had us chalked up. We went out there, we played the Raiders. Everybody said this season's over. Y'all don't have it anymore. We lose Tyreek, they say we don't have it anymore. They say our receivers can't catch. They say we don't play defense. They say Mahomes may not be the best. It's Josh Allen. It's Joe Burrow. They say that Pacheco's undersized. They say that Kelce's getting old. He's lost a step. In my mind, if I'm there, I'm Andy Reid. I'm telling them, no. All this, throw it out the window. We believed in us. We're 11 men on the field at the time, 22 total, 53 men on the roster, all these coaches. I'm going to war with you all. We did it before. We'll do it again. We can't fear them. They pull their pants up like we do, all that crazy normal rhetoric. But, yes, that is the angle I'm taking. I'm going to lean into the underdog route.
I woke up feeling cheesy as coach.
I know, we can tell by that shirt.
All right, Grandpa Jerry Mike, who wants to go?
Mikey, you good or you want me to go?
Go ahead. I'm building something up here.
He is the coach of the squad.
Yeah, you are the coach.
Yeah, so I'm definitely taking the Niners, and I'm channeling my inner Donald Trump. And I'm basically saying, if we lose to this team one more time, you're fired. You're fired. You're fired. No contract. You're fired too, coach. No, I'm looking at them in the eye and saying, here's how you can be remembered. You could be remembered as the team that got Patty Mahomes halfway to Tom Brady, or you could be remembered as the team that makes us question whether or not he can be the greatest of all time. So then it becomes the LeBron and MJ sort of thing where you go to a lot of finals, but you lose more than you win sort of thing. So I'm telling them, look, guys, let's rewrite the script of what everybody thinks right now. And furthermore, right here to my right, they stole an MVP from our guy right here. Let's go out and win one for him. And John's favorite player over here to my left, who's the penultimate game manager, let's just go out here and keep winning, because it don't matter if people call you a game manager. If you're holding that Super Bowl up at the end with the confetti falling on your face, they can call you a goddamn duck, loser, whatever the heck they want to call you. You're a winner in my books. And we're going to go out here and we're going to beat these damn Chiefs, because the Niners have lost too many damn Super Bowls since we won the last one 30 years ago. It's the 30-year anniversary. It's going to happen. It's happening tonight, boys. Let's go out there and take this.
As the team looks around, who's John?
You know, John Wick. Guys gonna
John Wick.
fuck your head off if you don't.
John Lynch.
So I would take the Chiefs in this scenario. I'm going to save the best for last, because I know Mikey got something up his sleeve. Put pressure on anybody. Okay. So I would just basically walk in. I would do the old, what's his name? Jim Valvano. I would, in Vince Lombardi, bust through the door. Right? Who are you playing for? And then get them cracking up a little bit loose, get them loose and everything. And, you know, basically to say, guys, you've been like Trey said, you've been, you know, I can't think of the word. Like, you've been
counted out.
You've been counted out all year. You've been
undermined.
Told that you're never going to make it back to the promised land. You guys are old. The dynasty's over. Pat Mahomes is washed up. Travis Kelce needs to retire. Kadarius Toney can't catch or line up on sides. You just can't do anything. Your defense stinks. You're not a good defense. Spags needs to retire. Andy Reid needs to retire. Let all that go. Today, we play 60 minutes of football. After all the commotion and the emotions, we play 60 minutes of football between 100 yards. So go out there, give it your best, because leave it all on the field, because there is no tomorrow. Tomorrow, the season ends, and this will not be the same team in this locker room. So get out there, play for your brothers, play for your teammates, and play for yourself, and get out there and have a great game and have fun with it. At the end of the day, we're all playing a kid's game, so let's go out there and have some fun, and let's win another Super Bowl. All right, Mikey.
All right. Hold on. I got to look at one thing real quick.
He's writing his speech.
Yes.
No.
He's a teleprompter.
I'm not going to lie.
He's teleprompting it.
I didn't see that Donald Trump thing going that way.
Nope. Nope, but I loved it. Okay.
I was not going to say what to go grab. I promise you that.
I did not see that.
No, it's old school Donald, pre-presidential Donald.
That's the show he had.
Yeah.
What was it?
Yeah.
Apprentice.
The Apprentice. You fired. Okay. So, I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers. And what I would tell them is this. Great moments are born from great opportunity. That's what you have here tonight, boys. That's what you've earned here tonight. One game. You play Mahomes and the Chiefs 10 times. They might win 9. But not this game. Not tonight. Tonight we run with them. Tonight we stay with them. And we shut them down because we can. Tonight we are the greatest football team in the world. This is your time. Their time? It's done. It's over. I am sick and tired of hearing what a great football team the Chiefs have. Screw them. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
I got goosebumps. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, bro, that was awesome.
My hair's. I was waiting for it.
What I needed to look at behind the scenes was I couldn't quite remember how it started.
Yeah.
I knew once I got it started, I'd be able to do it. So
well, since I can't watch the wedding one, that
yeah,
one
I was
better.
gonna say. For those
I
out
just
there
wish
that
you-
have heard us talk about the wedding one, it was that, but skewed towards a wedding instead of the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just wish you would have done it last year for the Eagles.
No, listen, no. If anything, I was doing it for the Chiefs. But yeah,
All right. Go ahead with your
All right.
second segment. Jesus.
all right,
Please,
that's a
Coach,
lot.
you all right? Coach, you okay?
Gives a speech.
Yeah, the last thing I'll ever do.
Well, you be able to celebrate the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So,
Now go win, because I won't make it.
that's a bit. That's the saddest speech ever. You go from up here to down here, like damn,
Right.
damn, coach.
And he's dead. Great. So I too had a few different options that I was kind of cycling through, but the one I really wanted to see what you guys think, because of course, I mean, it goes without saying, but at the end of the day, one team is going to be the winner, hold the trophy high in the confetti. One team's going to walk off the field in utter sadness, coming that close. So, with that in mind, guys, who has the window that is closing the fastest
Oof.
to win?
The Niners, for sure. We went over this before. The Niners definitely have the shorter window based on the free agents that will be free agents, the age of the players that are still there. Their defense is not getting any younger.
Mhm.
And, the players are not – the contracts are eventually going to go up, right? Purdy still needs to get paid. He's still a year away from that.
Mhm.
But it's just – this is their time, ultimately, to win the Super Bowl. And when we look at the Chiefs, they already have their young group, right? Their young group is already drafted and still probably 4 or 5 years away. So the Chiefs could be back in this position in the next 4 or 5 years with the young group that they have. Maybe go get some receivers and stuff like that. Mahomes is already paid. Travis is already paid. Chris Jones has got to get paid next year. But that's about
No, he got
it.
paid. Remember, that's why he held out.
Yep.
I thought it was a 1-year deal.
No, I'm pretty sure he got like an extension, I think. I mean, y'all could double check it, but I think he got
I thought it was a 1-year deal, but besides that, they still have that youth and the longevity of their good players. So the Niners need to win this now because then they'll go on another drought, which was 5 years from 2019 to build up. So,
Mhm.
Trey,
I'm going to ask you a question with a question. Is Patrick Michael Jordan Mahomes retiring anytime soon?
Not
Absolutely
conceivably.
not. As long as they got Patrick Mahomes on that field, their window is still going to be open. So the window that's going to shut quicker, it is the Niners. As John said, Purdy, once he gets paid, you got to start reorganizing the team. Now you can't hold some of these big contracts. That's kind of, I like in the Purdy thing, the back when the Seahawks, the first Super Bowl run, they go out, Russ isn't making any money, so now they got the Legion of Boom, they got all these extra people. Russ gets paid, then you slowly start breaking up the roster, then you have to start leaning to that quarterback. So you better do this now. On top of that, they have, McCaffrey's been hurt a lot in his career. Kittle's been hurt. Debo's been hurt. This is one of the few times where they've actually had all three of their big guns healthy. The chance of that happening, honestly, going forward is slim. So you do have to win now. Then you start to look at some of these other guys like Fred Warner and all these guys. They all are starting to get paid. So eventually you're going to start cutting bait with some of these people. Trent Williams is either 35 or 36 now. He's getting older. Like, it's a lot still left to be done out there. So I would say the Niners do need to win this because their window is going to shut quicker than the Chiefs. As long as you got Patrick Mahomes on the other side, that window is fucking open over there for the Chiefs. Jay, what you got?
I think you make a great point, but I think football of all sports and hockey just as much, which is why I don't see the Lightning getting back to Stanley Cups anytime soon, is that I think it takes a toll on players mentally and physically tremendously to keep making very deep playoff runs year after year. This is 4 out of 5 years for the Chiefs. When the Pats did it 3 out of 4 years, they took almost like a 7-year hiatus till they made it back to the Super Bowl again. It took a long time for them to get back there. It took the rebuild, and they had the quarterback to then go on a second run of 3 and 5 again. So I don't think he's ever not going to be a Chief. I think this is their last chance to win now before they go on that hiatus. And I also look at it from a coaching standpoint. If you look at the NFC West compared to the AFC West, there's no more good. I think Sean McVay is going to move on after next year. He's already flirted with this idea of taking a break from coaching. I think he's a young guy that's probably feeling he needs that little timeout and will come back and probably walk into a great scenario, maybe even take the Chiefs job when Andy Reid retires. The NFC West does not have enough competitive coaches to make that a hard conference for the 49ers to win. I don't think the Niners will have to work as hard to be in a position to have a high seed, to play less playoff games, to have less attrition. You look at Jim Harbaugh coming into the mix now in the AFC West. And I know he hasn't done much yet, but Sean Payton's on the sidelines as well. I believe the AFC West becomes a lot harder to win. And a motivated Raiders team that may have the coach that finally takes them on the bump. There's much better coaching in that division. I think it's going to be really hard for Kansas City to just keep winning and being in this position from this year on. I think it's the Chiefs.
That's a great point.
And I agree with the younger Russ and stuff, but I really think the Niners can be back here next year a lot more than I think the Chiefs can.
That's a great point with that conference, and finally the Raiders are playing with a coach they love, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They had that before, and then they hired McDaniels.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mike.
So first off, I took a quick look. Chris Jones is only on a 1-year deal. The other years on that potential extension all got voided when they agreed to this one.
Okay.
So they will have to pay him. You guys all make good points, and that's what made me go back and forth on it. I'm going to say the Niners because of, like you guys said, the having to pay a lot of their guys coming up. And also, to the point, Jay, the coaching staff, I agree. The coaching is a lot better against the Chiefs. I mean, they have a lot more adversity coaching-wise. But the thing I look at is the Chiefs have had somewhat of a turnover in recent years in their coaching staff. So they're actually, to me, in a better position to keep a coaching staff together as opposed to the Niners, who they're going to have a lot of guys that are getting ready to be head coaches and or coordinators elsewhere coming up, especially if they continue to make runs like this. So I think the Niners are at risk of, and those coaches leaving may not have as much of an impact as some other teams, but at the same time, it really could. So it's kind of like that. I'm kind of on the fence of like, will losing their coordinators really make, are they going to be one of those teams that like they lose a coordinator and suddenly that side of the ball takes a step back? So that's my mindset is like, if you're going to win, you have a lot more factors against you as the Niners than you do the Chiefs. Yeah.
You also got to think on the Chiefs side as well. Their coaches, all three of their coaches are not young. Andy Reid is 65 years old. Spags is near 60 now. Mm-hmm. So he's, they're not young. They're not going to be around, around the next 5 or 6 years. So yeah. I can see either way.
Yeah.
TreyDay, what you got for us?
Okay, so during this game, will there be a defensive touchdown? And if you do think there'll be a defensive touchdown, who do you see being the player to score that defensive touchdown?
70-yard pick six by, what's his name, Sneed?
L'Jarius Sneed, yeah.
L'Jarius Sneed.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it short. Yes, that. I also agree. I agree with that. That's what I was thinking too.
Jay?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
All right, Trey. You going 4 for 4?
No, because it's going to be McDuffie who's going to have the pick six.
Oh, okay. All right.
And if Purdy's due for interception, I just think McDuffie's going to be the one to intercept Purdy and run it back. And honestly, I think it's going to be longer than 70. I think it's going to be like a James Harrison type situation, like in the end zone, and then he's going to run it. I think we're going to get like a 90-plus yard interception.
Wow.
I'm saying that's going to be like the game changer, right? Like Niners are down like 3 or something. They're in driving scenario in the red zone, and then as they're driving the ball down, boom, big boost by the defense. That's what's been happening all year for the Chiefs and a lot of their wins is big defensive touchdowns.
Mhm.
So no one's picking the Niners to have the first one, huh? No. Okay. All right, Jay, what you got for us?
All right, which one of these is least likely to happen? Purdy throws 0 interceptions, or Mahomes has under 250 passing yards.
Under 250. You said least likely?
Least likely.
I mean, based on what y'all just said, we all think Purdy.
Yeah.
So least likely, because I could actually see a scenario because Mahomes has some games where he's throwing 265, 270. I can see the 250 because my gut is I think they're going to end up leaning on Pacheco a lot in this game anyway. So
that's why I think he won't have 250.
Yes, I can see a scenario where he won't have 250. Yeah. Purdy's throwing an interception. He is a walking. There has to be interception by Brock Purdy. If not, the only reason Purdy won't throw interception would be if somebody just drops it. But there will be a pass in somebody's chest. So
we've seen it. Literally, the Niners should, if they were playing in any between the Packers and the Lions, he would have 5 total interceptions between those 2 games.
Yep.
Because 3 in the Packers games hit the guys here.
Yeah.
Here. It's not even like it was a tip by out and they almost dove and caught it. It hit them here. That would have put them out in any other scenario. Like if they played any other better defensive team, they wouldn't be there. So I'm going to say Pat Mahomes under 250 because I think they're going to rely on the run game and try to really get that rolling. I think Kadarius Toney's going to play a factor in the run game because he's fast. I think they're going to try to do a lot of sweeps where they're pitching it out to him and he's running around. He's quick. So, I mean,
you're not scared. You said Kadarius Toney, they're going to depend on him.
No, not depend on him to win the game.
To put together for a team that wants to win a Super Bowl. But he did it last year for them.
He did it last year against us. So, I mean,
honestly, as a quick side factor, I think people are forgetting too, McKinnon's still been kind of limited, but actually practicing again. So they actually may be adding back another running back into the room as well with Pacheco. So that also helps the case for running the ball more.
Yeah.
And that they will do and control the clock and really try and just frustrate the Niners offense enough to feel like they have to do too much, which plays into both scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
But I really feel like it'll be Mahomes under 250 because the game script will be just right for them to do just enough, which is how the Chiefs have won this year. It's a just enough. Yeah. They haven't had any impressive game with blowouts. I think they had one game, and they also had games where they got blown out. But the only way I really think on the other side too, that they protect Purdy a lot more. That they let him throw the ball away. I think CMC is going to have a heavy load, like over 25 carries easily in this game, which is why I'm calling him to be MVP. But I could see Mahomes being the under 250 because the Chiefs want to play defense and they want to control the ball.
Yeah. Mike?
Yeah, it's going to be Mahomes under 250. It's not if you're the Niners, it's not a matter of if Brock Purdy won't throw any interceptions. It's that you hope he only throws the one and that it doesn't hurt you that much. But he's going to throw at least one.
I should have said over one.
You should have said over one.
Then it becomes a bit
that was too easy right there.
Yeah, I should have said over one.
We just said that he's going to throw.
So, all right. So that is let us know what you guys think in the comments about this. But before we go, because Grandpa Jay will be at his swim meet on Sunday.
Yes.
Good luck to your kids. Hopefully they do well in your team.
You ever imagine coming to your job and getting traded one day? One day you just walk in, you work for Google, and suddenly somebody says, you know what? You're actually going to work for Apple. You got to move across town now. That's kind of wild, right? So as much as I love transactions, I love the NBA trade deadline, the MLB trade deadline, all these things. I always think about that in the back of my head. Like, this is crazy that in a spur of a moment, your entire life gets changed. And now you got to move your family, and you got 24 to 48 hours to basically go report to a whole different part of the country, learn new teammates, learn new coaches, get acclimated. And sometimes I just don't think we shout out enough of how much of a transaction or transition that is. It's crazy these athletes do that on the fly. Now, I'm not saying like, what was the athlete? And I feel sorry for them. I just really think that's crazy. Like, just think about the guy who's flipping burgers at McDonald's, and then he gets upgraded. Like, oh, you get to work for Chick-fil-A now. That's like a dope upgrade. Or think about the other guy who like is one day working at like, some top law firm, and then one day they're like, oh, you gotta go work at Wendy's now, which is basically like working for some sorry franchise. Just, shout out to the athletes. I can't believe that y'all really actually just get up and pack your bags.
All right, so now we're going to go around the horn for 3 questions, and we're going to start off with, what's your favorite part of Super Bowl week? So I'm going to throw it up. We're going to go around the horn. Mikey Mike, what's your favorite part of Super Bowl week?
So my favorite part, I mean, there's a lot of cool things to go on during Super Bowl week and during the game and all that, but it's right at the start of the game or right before the game starts when everybody's on the field and you see like the before they get into competitive mode or before they start really playing, you can see the touches of the guys experiencing the moment, taking the moment in. And I've always thought that's really cool because, as fans, we always, you grow up, you always imagine what it would be like to play in these games, how you would react playing in these games in these big arenas or stadiums or whatever. And so to actually see these guys living out their dreams, I think is the coolest part to me.
Grandpa Jay, what you got?
Just the mere fact that people who don't give a shit about football lock in so much on that one particular day for whatever that reason is. It's really cool to kind of be in a room and look around and you kind of can pinpoint and be like, I know he don't give a shit, but somehow today he does. She definitely doesn't. That person wearing high heels in that outfit doesn't even know how to spell American football. But yeah, it's kind of cool to see how people just come together and really just make it like this one day where everybody cares this much about this one event that brings joy no matter what. Because most of the times you go to a party, there's maybe 2 or 3 people that have a dog in the fight, especially around these parts. There are not that many Florida teams that make it into the Super Bowl often. But I just kind of like that. I like the feeling that you could throw a party and really get people just kind of like hovered around wherever you're watching the game. And then the side thing with that is someone smart enough, like I was at some Super Bowl, I say, hey, I'm in control of tiles. And guess what? If I'm hosting a party and nobody hits, the house wins, then I'm making my money back that I spent on all that food to feed everybody.
All right, TreyDay, what you got?
For me, I enjoy all like just the bet and the prop bets and everything else that's going on. I mean, because you do get a lot of people who don't care about football, but it makes it intriguing for everybody. So you bet like what color's the Gatorade going to be and all these type of things.
The exotics.
Also, it's fun with the prop bets because let's say you get a real crap game. Like let's say when Seattle played the Broncos and the game sucks. At least give you some other incentive to keep watching the game because you're like, I need to see if this person's going to win MVP. I need to see if this over-under is going to hit. I need to see what color is the Gatorade going to be. It gives you something to keep investing in the game no matter how good or bad the game is. So, for me, enjoy watching prop bets.
There you
go. John?
Hey.
Well, I can tell you it's a bittersweet feeling being a participant in the Super Bowl because last year was as stressful as you guys know it was for myself. Walking, pacing. Probably did 15,000 steps. I wore out the tile in my house. We had to get new tile and everything. But my favorite part of Super Bowl week is right now. The media week, probably because, we are journalists doing journalistic things. And I just love the camaraderie where you see former players, you see players that aren't even football players. You have basketball swimmers, like Michael Phelps is there. And you got all these guys all together and you see them, camaraderie and laugh and have a good time. And, you see guys like on the McAfee show today, you saw James Harrison and he's like never in the media, but he was having a good time and seeing those type of people have a good time is just like what it's all about. Again, I'm going to say it again. NFL, get Cinco Squad on Radio Row. We'll make it as fun as anybody there. So get us there. Yep. Because that whole part would be worth it for me. I like watching the game. That's my biggest thing. I think we all know that. The game is like the biggest thing because it's the game. I don't like I go get something to eat or do something during the commercials. I really watch them. So I would say the radio media week prior to the game is always fun for me.
Just to touch on Trey real quick on the Hard Rock Band app, they have some really cool specials that they've named special. One of them, this one's really cool. It's called "If You Ain't First, You're Last." Both teams record a first down on their first offensive drive.
Okay, that's interesting.
All right.
Yeah, I like
that's
a
prop bet.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a prop bet.
Like
another one is Christian McFade. Any player other than McCaffrey scores the 49ers' first touchdown. And then this final one is cool. First aid. Patrick Mahomes and Brock Purdy each complete their first pass attempt. That's almost at a 1-to-1. You win 80 cents on the dollar on that one.
Okay. Yeah, see, I like that type of stuff. It gives me like an investment. Now I'm like, I care more about this first play than I need to care about. Or people like the national anthem, over or under, what's the time? So
like
now I'm like,
2.5 minutes or something.
Watching. I'm like watching the national anthem. Like, come on, get it out. Say, can you see? Come on. You got it quickly. So, like, I love all that.
Yes. So we have a couple more questions before we head into Stump the Squad. But one of these questions was blessed by our Grandpa Jay over there, Father Jay.
Was he a priest?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jesus.
Caribbean Jesus.
Caribbean Jesus.
Jesus del Caribe. You know, if you're Jesus from the Caribbean, you drink rum.
So, 3 celebrities you would be in the booth with. Who would you be? What are the 3 celebrities? Grandpa Jason, this is your topic. Take it away.
Well, I know you guys saw Kevin Hart and Snoop calling the Olympics. I can't imagine what it would be like sitting down with those two fellas commentating the Super Bowl on the side. So I want the 2 of them right there with me, play for play. Just you see that there, dog? Like I just want to just mute the whole time and just listen to them going back and forth. And then number 3 is a hard toss up for me. You know, I want my guy in there, West Coast, loving this.
So you guys want people to see the game.
Between him, having to hear him talk the whole time too, or my guy, Farmer Fran, you know it already, from the Water Boy. As soon as he walks in, first thing he says, Bro, if I could hear that the whole time, I don't even have to get drunk. My ass is so happy to listen to Farmer Fran talking about some great plays in the Super Bowl. So it's a toss-up between him and Bill Walton. But since Bill is my guy and he'd probably have some shrooms on him, he might make the experience even more fun. So
I was going to say, you guys wouldn't be able to see because of the cloud.
Kevin Hart, Snoop Dogg,
and Bill Walton. A cloudy booth.
I know, right? You wouldn't be able to see the game anyways. You'd have to like turn the TV on.
Like Nickelodeon, Good TV. Like I wouldn't even need Nickelodeon. Like the game would be just turning the slime on. Trey, what about you, man? I'm interested to hear what you got in the booth with you.
Okay, so I picked Snoop Dogg actually too. So
I know you would.
Yeah, I picked Snoop. Snoop's he's gonna make sure everybody's relaxed. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna kick our feet up and relax. Also, Snoop is actually a football fan, so I know we can actually talk about football and enjoy it. And he's chill, so he's not going to be a person to bring some conflict. Somebody gets an argument, he's going to settle it down. Like, hey, guys, we need to settle this down.
Chill,
I picked McAfee just because I know he's going to come in and bring energy. I'm just imagining a booth with Snoop and McAfee, like their personality. I think those two would be fun together, but their personalities are so different. Yeah, this super high, upbeat guy, you have this really laid back guy, and putting those two in the booth together would be just like fun. My third one would actually be my guy Willie Beeman, Jamie Foxx.
There you go.
Jamie Foxx, as people know, he is, of course, he used to be a comedian. I mean, I guess he's still technically is a comedian. Jamie Foxx is going to bring laughs. He actually knows football. Jamie used to play quarterback in high school, so it's not like he just acted as this guy. Jamie's going to be up there. You know, he does an impression of everybody, so he's going to be doing impressions of Romo, impressions of Nance. He's going to be doing impressions of Patrick Mahomes, and we're just going to laugh the whole time. So if I put those 3 in the booth, it's going to be fun, and all 3 of them can actually talk football, and we can enjoy our night.
Nice.
So we're going that route. John, who you got?
So I got like make sure like people. So
you only can have 3. Your booth's not that damn big.
I bought the 2.5 million one, so I got enough room. It seats 20.
All right, we'll be here for another 40 minutes.
I have Kevin Hart. That's my first one because he's just funny. I just feel like him, Jason Kelce, of course. Had to go with my guy. But we got to make sure we like like solid proof of the glass, so he don't.
Jump through it.
That seems a little bit more deeper at Allegiant Stadium.
So make sure he puts a damn shirt on.
No, shirts are optional. So
you can be shotgun in the booth.
And then my third one, I was like going back and forth, like it was between either Shaq or Adam Sandler. I'm gonna do Shaq just because I feel like those three guys will just have a great ass time, and then Shaq can DJ a little bit, and then Kelce and I can shotgun beers, and Kevin Hart can just make jokes and sit in his cold tub.
I thought about the TNT crew as well. I was like,
I did talk about Shaq and Barkley. I really hardcore thought about this too.
Oh, you know what? Thanks for inviting me into you. It's really nice of you.
What was it? Ari Spears has said that like Shaq, when he talks, needs a bouncy ball in front of him.
Yep.
That's what I said the other day. Still gets me every time. Mike, who you got?
So, of course, we have to give play-by-play duties to the one, the only, the fan of the Michigan Wolverines and the Ohio State Buckeyes. We got to go Gus Johnson. Come on.
Of course.
Come on. Gus Johnson's got to be there. He's got to be there.
Good
Also,
Lord.
the guy that has to be there wearing this jersey, Eli Manning. He's got to be there.
Of course. We knew that
Eli's got to be there. Gus knows football. Eli, of course, knows football. I mean, 2-time Super Bowl champion, 2-time Super Bowl MVP. But it's the third one where you guys won't be surprised, but it makes sense for me. And that's John Cena. I would want John Cena to be up there with.
I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. And he's kind of funny too.
He's funny. He loves football. I mean, he used to play football in high school, and he played at Springfield College, and so he knows football. He loves football, and he's just a fun guy to be around. He loves cracking jokes, and so I think to everybody's booths, it would not only be a fun booth, but it would also be, actually talking football instead of
talk ball.
People that actually give a shit.
Yeah. But like anytime he leaves to go to the bathroom, come back, is he gonna do his entrance?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. That's the requirement of being in the booth.
Every time, I'm back.
It's got to hold up a little towel.
The lights are going up and up.
Oh, there's
in Allegiant Stadium.
There's
like
pyro.
We got the Cena
like,
time.
God damn it! Another blackout in the 49 Super Bowl. No, it's John Cena coming back from the bathroom.
All of a sudden, you see you got the media timeout, and then you get the Cena timeout.
Yep.
Oh man. So as we wrap this up,
yes,
let's lock it in. Who you guys got? We'll go around the horn. Mikey, who you got? Score in the score.
Until they give me a reason to doubt them, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl yet again. Final score, I will go 30-21.
Wow, 8-point game or 9-point game. My math good.
Points.
Grandpa Jay, who you got?
Well. Who do we have in this year's Super Bowl? I'm going with the 49ers. I've been saying it all show long. CMC is my MVP. And it's going to take the effort that nobody else could do against the Chiefs defense, which is score more than 27 points. San Francisco 28, Kansas City 27.
Wow. Ooh. 1-point game. TreyDay.
Okay, so this is what's going to happen. Let me lay this out for you. The Chiefs are going to win. Travis is going to get his ring. And then Taylor's going to get her ring.
Yeah.
That's how it's going. That is exactly how this is going. Now, lock this in. Hold on a second. Trey's lock of the week. Let me take over real quick. The odds on this is plus 1060 for Taylor Swift to get proposed to on Super Bowl Sunday after the game. Now, let's put this in perspective. If you bet $25, you can win $290 on that. So people, lock that in. Travis gets his ring. Taylor gets her ring. Chiefs 27. Niners 23. That's how this is going to go. Patrick, Michael, Jordan, Mahomes will not let us down.
And he's the best man.
Of course.
Yes. Will he do it with a former ring? Like he'll have a former
Super Bowl ring?
Last year's ring, just pull out to put on her hand.
It's like, no, that one. Oh, hold on. Let me get the one from 2 years.
Let me get the other one. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
I have Oh, this is a tough one. I mean, I've been going back and forth with this. I'm going to say Kansas City Chiefs, and they are going to win 42-39.
Ooh.
That's a lot of points.
I didn't think they were going to score as many points as they did last year. But I think with the emotions that they're going through, there's always a lot of explosion. I think Shannon Sharp put it to a great way. Like, a lot of these teams are trying to be perfect and try to not make the mistake to do so, which will ultimately, when you try not to make a mistake, you end up making it. Mm-hmm. So that's when you'll see the defense come out in the second half. See a lot of points in the first, defensive battle in the second. That's just how I see it going. 42-39, Kansas City Chiefs raise their third in 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is. So let us know in the comments what you guys think. And remember, we're tuned into Super Bowl Sunday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. We're going live, having a guest-heavy show. When I mean guests, we got 10 guests coming on. Some are returning guests, some are brand new. You're going to have to tune in to see who it is, but we're so excited. Thank you to all our guests coming on. If you want to be a part of our show, just let us know. Hit us in the DMs.
My guy, Doc Rivers, in true Doc Rivers, very classy style, tried to turn down the opportunity to coach the East in the All-Star game. The reason why is it can't go to the same coach year after year, and it fell back on him because he has the second best record in the East right now, and that would have been the Celtics having that back-to-back opportunity. Now, to make it even more classier, Doc has said he's going to give his All-Star game bonus money, whatever, to former coach Adrian Griffin, because he's the one that probably should have had this opportunity. Doc, you've always been a classy guy. I love the way you do business. I love the way you coach. And you are a true example to all coaches out there to always do the right thing, especially when nobody's watching and especially when everybody's watching. Way to go, Doc Rivers.
That was our Super Bowl heavy episode. And, we got to finish off the episode with Stump the Squad.
Let's do this.
Grandpa Jay has already solidified his championship for Stump the Squad, but we're going to episode 100. We got 2 episodes left, so make sure you guys are tuning in. Grandpa Jay, take it away.
Well, since I don't have my crown yet, I will put on my Liverpool beanie for a little Stump the Squad style here. Representing for Nike, flip it one way. But we all about Liverpool here with Stump the Squad. So this is a prequel of, you guys are always going to see something on my head after show 100 when we do Stump the Squad. Get used to it, boys. All right, so 2 points if you get it right. -2 if you get it wrong. These guys are just playing for bragging rights. Who can finish second? Because yours truly is the champion going into our first round of Stump the Squad. I have a feeling this is going to be a Super Bowl heavy edition of Stump. Just a hunch. John, I know you got Super Bowl questions, so take it away.
Yes, sir. And I actually have a gambling one, which is actually pretty interesting.
Awesome.
That people are gambling this heavy during the Super Bowl. So, so I can make it the scoreboard. The American Gaming Association reported many people last year's Super Bowl had reported last year's Super Bowl had how many people wagering on the game? Mm-hmm. How many people, not how much.
Mm-hmm.
Was it 50 million people, 35 million people, 62 million people, or 47 million people?
I actually know the answer to this.
What is it?
I'm not going to say. You guys
he actually knows the answer.
He actually knows the answer, he says.
What's yours?
Mine's 62.
62?
I was going to go 62. What was the 3 options?
50, 35, 62, and 47.
I'm going to stick with my 62. That's my first mindset.
Grandpa Jay?
47.
47. And this week I have successfly stumped the squad, Mr. Know-It-All. It is 50 million. Over 50 million. So all of you got it wrong.
Maybe I had from the wrong
That's
year.
3 weeks in a row I got all you wrong. Okay, sorry. All right. Grandpa Jay, go ahead. Mr.
All right, so Super Bowl heavy edition. Can you guys tell me which one of these Super Bowls was the all-time highest scoring Super Bowl? Was it Super Bowl 57 with the Chiefs and Eagles? Was it Super Bowl 52 with the Chiefs and Pats? Was it Super Bowl 21? Excuse me, Super Bowl 7 with the Finns and the Redskins at the time, Washington? Or was it Super Bowl 29 with the Raiders and the 49ers?
Wait, how'd the Chiefs play the Pats?
Yeah, how'd the Chiefs play
That's what I
the
was trying to
Pats?
figure out. I don't remember Chiefs. I mean, Chiefs fan Bucks.
Chiefs and Bucks, you mean? I think.
No,
Tom
my
Brady.
fault. No. Sorry. I meant Pats and Eagles.
Oh, Pats and Eagles.
My bad.
That was
Pats and Eagles. Yep, little typo there. All right, so one more time. List is Super Bowl 57, Chiefs Eagles. Super Bowl 52, Eagles Pats. Super Bowl 7, the Finns versus Washington. Or Super Bowl 29, the Raiders against the San Francisco 49ers.
Is this combined score together
So
total?
combined score, which game has had the most combined points of
And
all
one
time?
Patriots Eagles.
Patriots Eagles.
Mikey?
I guess I'll go with the gut. I'll go Raiders and Niners.
Gentlemen, this week I have stumped Trey and John. It is the Raiders. And the
The
Niners,
Raiders.
75 points in that one, 74 points in the Eagles Pats, 73 points in the Eagles Chiefs, and 21 points in the Miami Washington.
I figured Miami, Washington, they're very ground heavy, so
Yeah.
at the time.
Who's next?
Well, Mikey.
All right. Well, let's keep the Super Bowl theme up, but we're going to go outside the game a little bit.
There we go.
Tell me, in what Super Bowl was the Gatorade bath first used?
Nice.
Was it 21, 36, 11, or 17? First Super Bowl in which the Gatorade bath was used.
21.
And for all of people listening, it's Super Bowl 20. These are Super Bowls.
Super Bowl 21?
Not 1911, 1917.
Yeah, no. Super Bowl 21, Super Bowl 36, Super Bowl 11, or Super Bowl 17? Trey has
17,
already said
17.
21. John says 17.
1738.
Hey.
Yeah.
Something's happening to Jamie.
Shit.
I don't know what it is.
It's the hat.
Hold on.
It's that. It's taking over.
He looks like one of those 90s actors with that hat on.
What?
Would fit
One of those preppy high schools.
Yeah, no, 100% teen rom-com. He's one of the guys standing there in the teen rom-com in the 90s. No, bro.
Sorry.
You guys going to the party out the abandoned...
Well, let's go Super Bowl 11. I think that's when the University of Florida started messing around with Gatorade.
Sorry,
So
Jay. I was
Trey
just
says
not
Super Bowl 21. John says Super Bowl 17. Jamie says Super Bowl 11.
Yeah.
This week I have successfully stumped John and Jamie. It is Super Bowl 21.
Nice.
And who got doused with that first Gatorade bath in Super Bowl history? It was the New York Giants' own Bill Parcells.
There we go, Billy, against the Bills.
Was it the Bills one? No, that might have been the one in the 80s, which would have been against... I don't remember who they played in that one. Might have been the Bills one.
That's a good question.
I don't even remember.
All right, Trey.
Yeah, take us away.
Yeah, what's your scores here?
What are we at?
So, Jamie and I are eliminated at -4. And Mike and Trey Mike has to get this wrong for Trey to stay alive. Trey's at -2. Mike's at 0.
Got you. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to be at the Super Bowl, but we are going to commercials at the Super Bowl.
Okay.
It'll be a little bit different. Yeah. Okay, so Amazon has 3 of the top 10 most expensive commercials in Super Bowl history. How much did those 3 total commercials cost combined
Oh, God.
from Amazon? We have 58 million, 65 million, 81 million, or 93 million.
How much did it cost?
Total.
Yes. How
Say it
much
again.
total did it combine the 3 Amazon commercials that are all in the top 10 most expensive commercials in Super Bowl history?
That's much higher than I was anticipating. Give me those numbers again.
We have 58 million, 65 million, 81 million, and 93 million.
81 million.
You said 53, right?
58, 65,
58.
81, 93.
58 million.
58 million for John. Mike said 81 million.
Yeah, I think they tiered year by year. So I'll go 65.
And Jay's going 65. Okay, so today I have successfully stumped Mike and Jamie. It's 58 million.
Nice.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. It's actually a 3-way tie between me, Trey, and Mike. So it's -2 across the board.
So
Okay.
I gotta come up with a nice
You
little
got
stumpy stump.
tiebreaker.
I gotta
Yeah.
come up with
Well, you know, I'm going to lose this one, so.
yeah, you know how John goes in
We're
overtime.
We're going to overtime.
Here
All
at
right.
Cinco Squads.
Get you a nice
That's a
little
crazy tiebreaker, right?
nice little overtime here. All right, so here's what we're gonna do.
If you want to know as a side fact, while Jamie's looking up an answer, the most expensive one was Amazon had a commercial called the Mind Reader in 2022. It was a $26 million commercial.
Damn.
Jesus.
For 130 seconds.
If you guys want, so over last year, the Americans wagered over $16 billion on the Super Bowl last year.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Just to lose.
Bill.
16 bill. Like Clinton. All right, you
All right,
guys.
guys. Here's person who gets closest to this number. The fewest first downs in Super Bowl history. How many in the game?
Fewest total first downs between the two teams.
And
11.
I got another tiebreaker if somehow
All of us tie.
all of us tie again.
11.
You gonna price his right his ass?
Listen.
No, I'm not pricing.
11.5.
Listen, you know
they
what?
ended the game on second down.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword. 7.
7.
I already knew he was going 7. I'm going to go 14.
We have another tie. It's 9 because 11 and 7 are both too long.
No!
So, between John and Mikey, can you tell me how many teams have combined to only have 9 first downs in the Super Bowl? It happened more than once.
How many teams?
Meaning
Total.
it's happened more than once. So how many times has it happened?
How many times?
How many
happened?
teams in particular?
I've only had 9.
How many teams have only managed 9 first downs in a Super Bowl?
6.
Teams. It's happened 3 times. Is what John said.
Say 4, so it'll be 5 and you have to tie again.
No, because it'll
Well,
be 2.
no. I actually was going to say 4. Yeah, I'll go with 4.
And your winner this week is Mikey Mike.
Yes.
It is 3 teams: the Dallas Cowgirls, the Miami Dolphins, and the Minnesota Vikings. All managed only 9 first downs in the Super Bowl. And John, like you predicted, you've lost once again in overtime.
My OTL losses are crazy. I have
It's
the
a
most
record.
points out of all you guys, but like
You
my
made,
OTLs.
you made right. You've made the
Definitely got the
playoffs.
most overtimes by far.
Oh yeah, I probably got like 10 or 12.
Yep.
10 to 12. So this week's Stump the Squad, is this 98? Episode 98?
This is episode
98.
98?
98. Yep.
98,
This is
okay.
episode 98.
I
Stump
just-
the Squad champion is going to be Mikey Mike. And on the scoreboard goes to Jamie with 11 wins, Trey with 5, or I should say Mike with 6,
Yeah, Mike said
Trey
it.
with 5, and John with 4, and 11 or 12
11.
overtime losses.
Many OTLs.
Many OTLs.
You made the
All right.
playoffs.
Yeah, I guess so. But all right, guys. This has been a fun show. We got Super Bowl week closing down. We got the Super Bowl on Sunday. We're super excited. You know, best of luck to both teams.
Yes.
Hopefully it's a great game and not a blowout. Fingers crossed.
Please.
But
Bloodlines.
any final thoughts heading into the weekend?
Yeah, I'm excited for a good Super Bowl. I do think it's going to be a good game. I don't think either of these teams will disappoint. So go football.
Yep. And next time, Trey, we got to book your travel because Trey was supposed to go to the Super Bowl and he accidentally went to Charlotte instead.
I thought it
the city, bro.
He went to the wrong city and now he's sitting in a hotel room for the last 3 days. He
I
can't
thought
leave
it was in
until
Charlotte.
Monday.
That's what they told me.
That's the
CMC, the real MVP,
27.
wins a MVP this year, and that's Super Bowl MVP.
So make sure you guys tune into our show on Sunday. We'll be going live. Can't wait for that. And we'll see you guys here next week where football season ends.
Go football. Farewell.
Have a good weekend, guys. Enjoy the
Congratulations,
Super Bowl.
Taylor.
Congratulations, Taylor Swift, on your engagement.
On engagement.
Bye.
Congratulations.